Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Joining us for our mini episode today is our third and seldom seen co-host, Bela the cat. Well, the kitty, the little tiny baby girl.
You know, we're all seldom seen, Landen. This is an audio format, so...
Bela, can you say something into the mic?
He's gonna manhandle his cat until she meows.
One more thing? You say one more thing, honey? Okay, thank you. Those were her thoughts on Lightning Jack.
Well, no, I think Bela made some good points about Lightning Jack. There weren't enough cats in it. There were no scenes. There were no scenes where Paul Hogan opens a can of tuna.
No, I mean she had sardines and mackerel for dinner. So
sardines and mackerel in this economy.
I mean, yeah, she's a demanding co-host.
What is the deal with the name Jack being in the title of movies?
Oh, okay. I have a very similar question. In that, in the 80s, what was the deal with Johnny?
Well, and isn't Jack a shortening of John or a nickname for John in some cases?
I think so. Yeah.
So did all of the Johnnies start going by Jack at some point in the mid 80s?
Or is Jack short for James? No, it's John. I think it's John.
I sometimes I feel like it goes for both. It doesn't make sense how some of these names are shortened. But like,
it falls, to answer your question, I don't know exactly, but it falls under this cloud in my head of like things that probably started in the barracks of World War II, just like nicknames soldiers gave to each other, or like just references that have stuck with us, but we just don't quite know where they started. And I feel like it came from one of the wars.
Just the preponderance of movies named after a dude named Jack, some kind of Jack.
Well, just I feel like Jack was something that my grandfather would say a lot. I can't even recall a specific reference, but like, doesn't Ben Stiller at one point in Meet the Fockers say, "What do you think of that, Jack?" Like, I thought Jack is a name you just slap onto things.
In Do the Right Thing, Samuel L. Jackson, the radio DJ, I think his like sign off is, "And that's the fact, Jack."
Right. Okay.
So
that's
yeah, and hit the road,
Jack Flash.
Hit the road, Jack. Billy Jack, Mighty Jack.
Are we just saying combinations of words and names now?
Well, no. I mean, those are both movies
Bloated
with Jack
Jack
in the title. I mean,
Jack.
Kangaroo Jack,
Cheddar Jack, cheese.
That's not a type of cheese, and you know it. Jack's back.
I don't know. I don't have an answer. Jack is back. Jack Attack. Snack into the Jack Attacks. I don't know.
I mean, I'm like listing movies with Jack in the title, and you're just kind of like saying stuff.
Excuse me. Jack Attack is the name of a short based on the Incredibles baby character. So,
okay. Forgive me.
Your jackhole.
Jackfruit. That's a thing. There you go. I guess the whole world has Jack on the brain. What do you mean you miss jackfruit? Do they not have jackfruit in Wisconsin?
Well, not the kind I used to get. We have one Trader Joe's in Wisconsin or in Madison, and I rarely get over there to get it. But they had the jackfruit that I liked, and I don't get it much anymore.
That's a shame. Instead, you get Lightning Jack, which is not the Jack you wanted at all.
No, it's not. Lightning Jack fruit would be interesting.
It'd probably be shocking.
Didn't mention this on the main episode, and I want my Academy Award nomination for keeping my composure.
Okay. I don't know if that's a category yet, but we'll see about getting it added. Go on.
There is a fucking bear in this movie.
Oh boy, is there ever a bear?
It is a jump scare bear.
Yep.
It is the worst kind of bear, and it is a tall, scary-looking grizzly bear.
And it comes after Cuba Gooding Jr. when he's just trying to take a dump in the woods. So it's a bear at kind of the most
get out of here.
time.
This is my axiom. Get your own axiom.
Yes, exactly. I'm answering the question once and for all. That bear was really just looking for some Charmin toilet paper to be uncomfortably enthusiastic about. Yeah, no, when watching it, I was already kind of bummed by where that scene was going, and then as soon as a bear showed up, my notes just turned into, oh no, poor Landen.
Fucking came out of nowhere.
I feel like
for new listeners, I have a fear of bears. I do not care for them.
That's a healthy and logical, reasonable thing. Yeah.
I will defend their right to exist. I do not think they should be hunted or wiped off the face of the planet, but they scare the shit out of me. It is my one irrational fear in life. I cannot handle bears.
I mean, that makes sense. And this is the thing. I couldn't handle a bear if I was physically close to one. I can handle bears conceptually, but I think that of all of I don't think it's a super irrational fear overall. It's not like you're I don't know. There's people who are afraid of like balloons or who are afraid of cheese or something like that. Like that is irrational.
Pop at any second, Truman. That's scary.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but then you're fine. Like, okay, maybe Bela is scared of balloons because a balloon popping is probably going to reset her entire brain.
Bela isn't afraid of anything.
Well,
in fact, I should probably be less afraid of bears now because Bela would protect me.
I mean, look, that's putting a lot of faith in a very small cat relative to the when the bear was on
She's
screen.
A tiny little baby girl.
Did Bela like rear up against the screen of the TV and start batting it with her paws like, "You get the fuck away from my dad"?
Well, she does with the flies that fly into the house. She chases after them. She has brought me 2 mice already.
Okay. Mice, flies, bears, all basically the exact same kind of animal. Exactly. I would make the same assumptions.
They're not any different to her.
Lightning Jack shoots his gun in a very dumb way.
Oh, the 3/4 cocked, or like, you've got the gangster style, which is completely perpendicular. Like,
yes.
You turn it to the side.
Yes.
But okay, I'm gonna get real stupidly technical here.
Nice.
Gangster style is, okay, say you're holding a gun in front of you. Turn
of course, I am.
Your hand counterclockwise to your direction.
Okay.
So you're turning it perpendicular 90 degrees. So that the top of your hand is showing upwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Lightning Jack shoots it by doing it in the opposite direction, not a full 90 degrees. He does it about 3/4 of a turn, so maybe 45 degrees, and in the opposite direction, so his palm is facing up.
Like, do you think that Paul Hogan just, like, saw someone holding a gun gangsta style in a movie or like an episode of Nash Bridges or something, and he was like, crikey, I'm gonna do that, like,
but then got it. He Michael Scotted it. He just didn't get it right when he tried it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, and also, I think it's stupid to. I think it's stupid to shoot a gun that way, regardless of what kind of gun it is. But if it's a revolver, that's especially stupid because you're going to break your wrist, most likely, doing that. And
Yes.
You're definitely not going to hit whatever you're shooting at. I don't know, Lightning Jack. I'm getting all my Jacks mixed up because I was talking about him.
I kind of wanted to return to the idea of the newspaper.
Yeah.
Because Lightning Jack, Paul Hogan, well, the character Lightning Jack, seems obsessed with newspapers. And I'm wondering if it's like his insecurity over not being able to read has made reading a sort of like brass ring obsession with him. Or if he is in more conversation with just the general like idea of the state of journalism in the 1870s.
I think this is a bracing movie about the Fourth Estate, Lightning Jack. Lightning Jack, because it's not that Lightning Jack can't read. That's what we want. But at the end of the movie, right. Lightning Jack reads the entire newspaper article about him flawlessly. I think that, I don't know, I think it's just, it all just comes down to publicity and wanting to be talked about and wanting to know what people say. Like Lightning Jack would be very messy on social media, I think.
Well, so would Paul Hogan.
I mean, for all we know, he could be. Let's not check because I don't want to have to hold in my mind any of his thoughts about things.
Totally agreed. But in the middle of the movie, when he checks a newspaper like 3 or 4 times throughout this film, which is an absurd amount of times.
It's a very literary cowboy movie.
I mean, imagine a modern movie where someone like pulled out their phone and read tweets like 4 or 5 times throughout the film.
I want to tell you about a little TV show called Emily in Paris, which is literally only about Lily Collins looking at her phone and reading or writing tweets. But go on.
I have not seen the show.
Lightning Jack is a lot like Emily in Paris, much like it's also a lot like Mrs. Doubtfire.
But in the middle of the film, so it's like the second or third time, they're reading the paper. Him and Ben are reading the paper, and it comes out that he knew Jesse James.
Yeah.
And calls Jesse James a peckerhead.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, okay, I said the last episode that there was nothing about this film that I remembered.
Yeah.
There is one weird bit that I remembered throughout my many years, which was at 11, 12, 13, probably skewing closer to 11 if I'm being honest. The exchange of him calling Jesse James a peckerhead, Ben not understanding what he means, and then Paul Hogan having to explain what a pecker is.
Yeah.
And then Ben going, "Is he bald?"
Long
when
road to that
when you're
joke,
like,
yeah.
When you're right before the age of like understanding your own anatomy and like
what
everyone
a
else,
poetic
like,
way of putting it.
General.
Oh man,
just general anatomy.
My mom walked in on me understanding my own anatomy the other day. Oh, that's so embarrassing.
The confusion over is he bald, like, because the joke isn't really well written or delivered in a way that's like he's putting the connection together that Jesse James is bald because he thinks he looks like a pecker. He looks like a bald penis, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not really well telegraphed or explained, the joke. And so the confusion of that adding to the exact age I was when I was actually kind of confused about things made that line linger in my head for many, many years.
And that's how you can tell the script was written by an Academy Award-nominated screenwriter, is there are lines in it that stick with you and influence your day-to-day life for years to come. So, so it stuck with you. Like, how long was it until you sat bolt upright in bed and were like, oh, I get it now?
I mean, it's probably one of those things that, like, at a certain point, I lost the thread that it came from Lightning Jack, but now, even at 42, I might be somewhere and see a bald person and wonder, oh, does he look like a penis? Is that what they mean when like, I might not even be thinking those exact thoughts, but I see a bald person and I, like, for some reason I'm trying to combine it with a penis in my head, and I'm like, what? Why am I doing that?
This dude's over here harping on me about offending Australians, and I was just saying that every time he sees a person who does not have hair on their head, he starts thinking that they look like a penis. He's saying every time. He's constantly finding excuses to think about penises. This is a joke that feels very much just, yep, this is Paul Hogan. Like, I know that he wrote the entire movie, so everything is Paul Hogan, but this is a thing where it's like
at all.
A studio would have said, we could cut this. We could edit this scene out. We could find a different joke or punch this up, and Paul Hogan just went for it. And I mean, I don't know. I also harp on this show a lot on studios for making cuts to things, and I feel like I take this kind of irrational view that no studio note has ever been good and that creative people should be able to have unfettered freedom to do whatever they want. And, that happened here and the movie was bad. So, I don't know. I guess I'm just holding two kind of opposing thoughts in my head at the same time because I don't want to give up my bitterness at bad studio notes I've received in my life, but also, if ever there was a guy who could have used a couple.
Maybe this is your first baby ghost step toward the anti-tour theory. Just like maybe it is the answer is a balance between all parties that contribute to a movie.
I mean, look, to be fair, I've never been like, oh yeah, one single person is the sole driver of everything. Like, I've always thought that, like, a movie is the creative product of a whole lot of different people. I just think that people who do money stuff and you know, get big dividends from a holding company, they shouldn't have any role or say in the matter. But then again, if somebody in a suit driving a Mercedes had told Paul Hogan, hey, don't put the joke about Jesse James being bald because he's a peckerhead in there, then it could have saved young Landen from multiple years of just confusion and vexation.
Oh my God! You want to play the trailer game? Do you think the peckerhead line's going to be in the trailer?
Much like the Tommy Lee Jones Meryl Streep blowjob scene was totally going to be in the trailer for Hope Springs, I expect it will be in this. Yes.
What do you think is going to be in this thing? I think they're going to make this seem like far more of a laugh riot adventure than it actually is.
I'm wondering if this is going to be one of those trailers where we watch it and get really jazzed about the movie they're trying to sell. By the way, actually, a little more trailer game housekeeping. A couple episodes ago, I mentioned that in the Reminiscence episode, we actually aced the trailer game, but I mistakenly gave us not full points. Well, I was totally wrong about that. It's the Money Monster episode where we completely aced the trailer game. I knocked 1 point off, thinking that, they didn't show a scene of the guy ranting on camera about the 1%, but they did actually show that. So basically, when we're doing the grand tally, we did 100% on Money Monster. Let's see if we can replicate that success here.
Yet we got the tone of that trailer completely wrong.
Completely wrong. That was a very somber Springsteen-y trailer that did not suggest a movie where a guy is putting on boner cream. Anyway, talking about peckers.
Here, the tone of this trailer, I think, is going to take... Oh my God, I don't even know. You might have to cut this. I don't even know if I can articulate it well.
Oh boy.
There's a certain comedic Western motif in a score that comes out that's like...
Boy.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it's used in Tremors. I feel like it's used in City Slicker. The notes that, like, you've got the, like, twangy guitar,
Yeah.
But you've got the
kind of rock harmonica in there for a second.
Yes. The harmonica comes when it, like, the City Slickers have been in the desert for like 2 hours and the sun's beating dead ahead, and you do a dead cut to like an eagle flying overhead, and someone taking their hat off and wiping their brow. I don't think we'll get that note here, but I do think the comedy beats of, we're on a wacky adventure in the West. Ding 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 ding.
Bang.
Yeah. I feel like they use it in Black Sheep. Like it's a bit used often.
It's Aaron Copland adjacent music. It's like if Aaron Copland had a big old clown nose on when he was writing Appalachian Spring. I very quickly, this just burst into my mind. I thought of another Western comedy post Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
It's a little-known film called Three Fucking Amigos, and neither one of us...
One of my all-time favorite movies. I didn't even think of it.
We talked for so long and could not think of it. Wow. We have no credentials.
None.
Okay. So, no, I think, yes, I think there is going to be that goofy Western-y music in there. Do we want to put that down as an official guess, or is that just...
No, I'm just kind of going for the tone of this trailer. Like, it's going to set up that sort of... We're on a comedic adventure.
Yes.
My actual guess, though, I have a couple here. I think the sleep butt naked line, where Beverly D'Angelo busts in and says, "I thought you slept in the nude," and he goes, I do, but it wouldn't be becoming with another man in the room.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Because what other like comedic lines are there? That you've got action. He's getting up on the bed. You've got a I mean, I don't find it funny, but a comedic line being delivered, and you've got all 3 cast members in the same scene. I think just logistically, it makes a lot of sense.
Boy, I'll put it down, man. But that scene, I would have completely forgotten that scene was in the movie. That whole bit about him supposedly sleeping naked. If you hadn't mentioned it,
All right.
But I'll put it in.
All right. So I supported you through the blowjob scene.
Yes, no, you did. Exactly. Okay, careful with the way you say that. I feel like we're going to get a sense of the outdoorsy adventure hijinks comedy by Cuba Gooding Jr. being chased by the large animal that you don't want to think about.
You think that? Oh, such a like. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but like, just going back to that moment in the movie, it's such a nothing. Like it has.
The fucking sleeping naked peril. Is a nothing.
No. Sorry, I'm not criticizing the guess. It could quite well be in there. I'm just saying, as far as the movie goes, like, it's such a throwaway thing. Like, he goes off to go take a shit, a bear jumps up, he runs away, they're fine. The bear doesn't chase them. Like, it doesn't create any conflict. It's just a thing that happens. Why is it in the movie? I don't understand.
Okay. All of life is just things happening, bro. That's just what it is. Secondly, this movie is all just weird, disconnected, tossed up nothings. So they're going to have to put some in the trailer. And I feel like that's a big physical comedy moment. My big doubt about it is, are they going to spend the time setting up that Cuba Gooding Jr. has to take a dump and is being chased away whilst trying to poop? Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it is absolutely. It has trailer vibes all over it. I'm questioning more the movie than your guess about it.
We've been questioning the movie for quite some time. This movie has a lot to question,
more than I want to. Okay, here's my other guess. The bump into the guy who wants to start a fight, and Hogan saying, walking away, saying it's none of my affair. Leaving Cuba Gooding to fend for himself.
Yeah, okay. I can see that. That sets up some of their dynamic and Paul Hogan's devil-may-care attitude.
I think also we have to have the first newspaper scene in there.
Oh, with
where
him
he's holding up the old man to read the newspaper to him.
Yeah, and they say he's from England, and okay, I have 2 others.
Okay.
Paul Hogan shooting the lapels off the guy's coat during the robbery. Like, Lightning Jack was the fastest gun in the West.
Absolutely.
Pew!
Yep. Completely agree with that one.
And then Lightning Jack at the brothel while his lady is singing and the guy is heckling her, and he pistol whips the guy in the face very casually.
Great. Yeah. Both good guesses.
Okay, and I guess I'll just do the newspaper reading. That'll take us to 6, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Because I just feel like, I don't know. Lightning Jack casually pistol whipping a guy without even blinking is just another Paul Hoganism. It's Crocodile Dundee all over again.
This isn't a guess, but just a question to you, a simple yes or no. Do you think there will be something in the trailer that wasn't in the finished film?
Yes, I do.
I kind of feel like there is too.
Will be, and is it I don't know. Again, this is not a formal guess, but I don't know. Are we gonna get like pistols, like dueling or something like that, or?
I'm thinking more like it's gonna be an alternate take or an extended scene from something that already exists that they just cut down for time or something.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be some scenes from Life or Something Like It, you know? They'll just like, you know, that movie, that trailer incorporated unused scenes from, you know, and this goes even further with unused stuff from a different movie. All right, well, do we want to just go completely and crazy and watch this thing?
I certainly do.
Okay.
The following preview has been approved for all audiences by the Motion Picture Association of America.
They can't talk about him sleeping naked if it's for all audiences.
There are famous outlaws. There are legendary outlaws.
Who is this announcer?
And then...
I hit him.
There's Lightning Jack Kane.
This is not the comedy western music.
Ooh. Ben Doyle, meet Lightning Jack Kane.
Because no one ever heard of him.
That's the Lightning Jack Kane.
But now,
I join your gang.
Okay.
What gang?
a guy who can't speak
God.
is
They're
making
trying to
Jack
make comedy out of him
the
not
talk
talking.
of the territory.
Well, I mean, the movie did too.
Kane is of medium height and build.
Oh,
and
newspaper.
has an
Newspaper
English
scene. There we
accent.
go.
Yeah, English accent.
I'm bloody Australian.
And Jack's teaching Ben
So far, we've been doing
everything
shitty,
he
but
knows
maybe
about
he's got one.
gunplay.
Oh, great. Great.
The guy in
Big
the
old
ass. Why
shotgun
didn't we guess
scene.
that one?
That's the
Horseplay.
climax of the film.
Get out, Ben.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the
Brutal.
greatest stunt in the movie.
It's such a brutal stunt.
Never just jump on a woman. First, tell her she's got a pretty dress, nice soft hair.
Do not do the thrusting.
In your case, stroke it a few times.
Savoy Pictures
Ed jumping through the
presents
window after the horse.
Of all the women I've had, you're still the only one
Everyone
I
in
never
America
took a
just
gun
going,
by.
did I just see Robert Daltrey on screen for a half a second?
Okay, him trying to strike the match and it doesn't work. That's a funny bit. You know,
You're gonna have to suck the poison out.
no, not the butt
and
poison.
Cuba Gooding Jr. In a
You
story
literally
of
just
two
saw that in
outlaws
City Slickers.
who just wanted to be wanted. Lightning Jack.
I just know I'm good. Real good.
Oh, I forgot
Oh,
about
him eating the. Wow.
Yeah, we sucked at that. Jesus Christ, we sucked at that.
But in our defense, and this is not sour grapes, that trailer also sucked.
Yes, it did.
I mean, okay, I'm being unfair though. There are some great copywriter taglines in there about the people who just wanted to be wanted. That is art. That is really good. I wish that I had thought of that line.
That almost sounds like a Paul Simon lyric. You said that him striking the match and not starting wasn't in the movie.
No, I mean
Is that what you said?
No. Just that was one of the better bits in the movie,
Oh,
and a relic of
yeah.
because him standing by a post trying to strike a match off it to light a cigarette in a cool way, and it doesn't work, and he just looks at it and frowns, and it's like, yeah, that's a artifact of a movie where Lightning Jack sucks at being a cowboy. Give us that.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, I kind of earmarked that as a thing that just happened on set. Like that was a accidental take.
And then Paul Hogan is a true movie star to just keep rolling with it and turn that into a kind of a deadpan bit.
That's what 10 years of sketch show does for you.
I suppose so. That's what getting nominated for an Academy Award does to you.
For writing.
Yeah.
How did we do on that game? My mental count was 1.
Yeah, your mental count is right on the ball. He does not shoot the lapels off a guy's coat, although we get the same message from him shooting the guns off people's hips.
Yeah.
It's him reading the newspaper and also being vexed that they think he's English, so they got that. Nothing about him supposedly sleeping naked.
Yeah, okay.
No bear chasing, so both of our big swings were big misses.
Though I feel like in like the 30-second TV spots, those might have been in there.
Sure. We can dream, can't we? Bumping into the guy, and it's none of my affair. That doesn't happen. Him pistol whipping the guy who's heckling his lady friend. That doesn't happen. We just get none of it. This is just a weird trailer, announcer.
Kind of the inverse of Money Monster in a way, in that we nailed the tone and sucked at the guessing.
Yeah, really. I wish that Bruce Springsteen had a like kind of mournful song about Lightning Jack. You know, this trailer, like, what if the trailer made Lightning Jack look like Lonesome Dove? Like, what if it looked like it was going to be Lonesome Jack, and then you go to it and you get exactly the movie that we watched.
Oh my God. I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing about about Lightning Jack is that lightning strikes once.
Yeah.
And in this case, it didn't strike at all. And therefore, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I wish that the entire crew had gone on strike to keep this from happening and to secure higher wages from the shady, publicly traded Australian corporation that Paul Hogan invented to get this movie made.
Let's just jettison off Paul Hogan. I would be okay never remembering him, generally speaking.
Folks, when we first analyzed the code from the machine and saw that there was a Paul Hogan Western to talk about, we were both so excited. We thought we were going to have such a good time with it, and boy, it just, Paul Hogan bummed us out.
It's not like reminiscence levels of I legitimately hate this movie, but I'm more exhausted by Lightning Jack and Paul Hogan than anything else.
I'm not mad at it. Don't put in the newspaper that I got mad, or else I will shoot the newspaper like Paul Hogan does.
The quote says, "Sometimes I kind of laughed."
Yeah, no, so, but I almost laughed.
Laughed.
It is. I think my reaction to this is similar to, like, I talked about this in the Barnyard episode, the Thumbation Thumb Wars shorts, where it's just like, must we?
Must we?
Guys, come on, please. We're all going to die one day. Can we do something better with our time?
Well,
and on that,
maybe the machine has something better for us to do next time. So let's see where we are setting the dials to head to next.
That's not a dial. This is a dial. Okay, says that next we're heading to August 16th, 2013.
Oh man, another August film. All right. The clue here says, I like Ike, Kennedy, 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 all the way with LBJ, Nixon's the one, but they all make a mess.
There was a president who really made a mess, who came after Nixon, Ford, and Carter, but I guess he doesn't get mentioned in this. Well, look, folks, that bad joke aside, I am very excited to potentially have a legitimate reason for me to keep talking about presidents and politics in the middle of our movie podcast. So I can't wait to see what that reason is.
Yes, go out and vote.
Yes, everyone, please, for the love of God, please go out and vote, unless you actually believe that everybody having guns makes your town safer, in which case, maybe stay home and just, watch TV that day.
Oops, actually, this episode is releasing after the election.
Okay, I hope that you voted, unless you have a bunch of political beliefs different from Landon's and mine, in which case, fuck you for voting.
Well, all right.
I'm not. No, I don't think that's a bold take, Landon.
You roped me into it, though. All right, well, let's just get out of here. Lightning Jack has ruined us.
Yeah.
For Truman Caps, I've been Landon Solano.
And for Landon Solano, I've been Truman Caps. See you next week.
Bye.
Consarna!
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpodcast to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit MovieMemoryMachine.com.